Hello, happy strip day. And I feel like that's what we should really name them. The days that we strip are strip days. You are here. And I love that for both of us. If you're new here, please make sure you do all the things that the normal YouTubers tell you. Okay, if the app been around long enough, you know you gotta like, subscribe, follow, please do all of the things. If you are enjoying this, give this a thumbs up. This is our first episode of the year with a guest. I am so excited. If you were paying attention to me on Instagram, same name, just El Mirasaki, you will see that I was on a podcast that dropped today. I was on What Else Is Going On with my girl Taria Faison, and the conversation was just so juicy. We had to keep it going. And we said, no, now you got to come over here and we got to scorp it down, okay? Because there's so much going on. You know her, you love her, you watch her. Please clap, 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 clap for Taria Faison.
Hi, I'm ready to take off my clothes, stripped. Should I
do it?
I want you to get monetized, so I will not do that. But
I thought you were saying you wanted me to get monetized, so you would do that, and I said that's a real friend.
You know what? I would do that for you. I'm actually considering starting an OnlyFans called Tiny Toes and Teeth Gaps because my toenails are very tiny. Every time I get them done, they say the same old thing about, oh, your toes are so tiny. I understand, and I have a gap. So I was going to do Tiny Toes and Teeth Gaps and just show toes and gaps.
And this is why I love this podcast, because who knew? Who knew that you was ready? You had a name and everything. Listen, Karuchi just started her OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
If y'all wanna pay to see my feet, I'll show them to you. I will.
Listen, and I could put them in all sorts of contortions. I can go like Jamie Foxx said, from standing to a split. So you just see me drop down and it'll focus right on my toes, point it straight up.
You might make a little more money than me. I was not coming to be that type of employee, okay? My biggest foot party trick is that I can pick things up with my toes. I can also write a little bit with my foot, just a smidge. Nothing like crazy.
You know what? Are you flexible? You can pick up an apple with your toes and eat it. Picture it.
You said Corey not gonna hurt me, but I don't care what Bash do to you.
Fully clothed, but just picking it up, taking a bite of a nice.
But see, that's why you gonna make more money than me, because I was really only giving them ankle down.
Okay. Oh yeah, because we don't want to show. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was ankle down, and I was gonna do it, whatever it was.
That's true. Okay. Huh. Because I was saying I was only going to show teeth and toes. So yeah, I guess we could do the camera in such a way where as you see the foot going up to the teeth with the apple and then.
Well, we start every episode here at Strip with the cheers, just an acknowledgement that you could be podcasting with anybody in the world. The viewers could be on anybody else's page, but we're all here together chit-chatting. And so cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. And for you, cheers to your new page, Tiny Toes and Teeth Gaps.
Cheers to my sis who did me wrong by not telling me earlier to bring something, because I actually was going to stop by the store and get a little something, and I forgot, just got busy. And I was trying to start the show late. I was like, I'll run out right now.
See, and that's you see how the people do. It is on me. I'm gonna hold my little bit of accountability. I should have told you, right? but and this is a story for y'all. One of the first conversations Taria and I had prior to the podcast, we were on there for like 30 minutes and we were just talking and it was getting so good. I said, because it was a little early in the day, I say, is it giving a little like alcoholic if I have a drink? Because like we need a drink. And she said, I started my day with finishing the wine from last night. And I said,
that's right. I sure did. I remember that. I still had some, and I was like, I'm going to do this today, because some days require that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Some days you just got to do it. And I think in my brain, I was like, oh, she got something at the house.
And you know what? I do, but for the last few months, I haven't. So like if I in the mood, then I'll run out and grab something. But normally I do keep like some wine or something like that in the house. And I didn't. And this is the sad part. Since this weekend, I've thought about getting something. I just haven't stopped at the store and got something.
Okay,
But I
that's a
did,
soft life.
huh?
That's a soft life.
Well, I did just text my husband, and these are the words that I said to him because he said he was on his way to the gym. I said, also, can you get me a 4-pack of ready margaritas? He knows I mean ready made. The liquor store is in the gym complex. They have it.
Bloop, bloop.
He sent an eye rolling emoji and then a laughing face, meaning yes, he's getting it.
Yeah, duh. Why would he not?
Why would he not?
Also, I think that's a little bit of sabotage. There used to be a liquor store that I went to that was right next to a Weight Watchers.
See that it's a whole lot of it. They have a Wingstop. They have some other restaurant. They have the Dollar General. They have Sherwin-Williams, a nail place, something
Now,
else
how
new.
Sherwin get there?
Sherwin is right there, baby.
Next to Wingstop.
2 doors down from Wingstop, right next to Dollar General, there's the liquor store, and then there's a pool store. It's a lot going on over there.
Lip gloss, and it's driving me crazy.
Oh, let me tell you, once it gets stuck there.
Oh, wait, I got it. Okay, so speaking of chugging wine and being vulnerable, that is the type of vulnerability you could tell the public. Unlike your girl, Miss Candace.
No.
Today. No, that's your friend today.
Okay. You know what? And I'm gonna go ahead and speak my piece on that.
And you should. Go ahead.
So I like how you said in your video that some things, everything isn't meant for the public. We can get vulnerable, but I believe that you can say and share whatever you want to share, understanding that although it may not be right, there is going to be commentary about what you say and what you share. I think of Dr. Simone and Toya. They had an interview with Carlos King today. And Toya was talking, and Dr. Simone said, "You want to drink some water? You want to drink some wine?" In other words, be quiet. You don't have to share everything.
And then she said it too. She said some things are just better left said for your close circle. She said it too.
And I agree. I don't disagree with what Candace said. And I did see the argument. What if someone said they wanted light-skinned kids? And I think about the football player. I can't think of his name. Darker skinned fellow, and some of his teammates. He was with a friend, darker skin, and they had their very light-skinned wives. And the wife found out she was pregnant, and they did a cheers to more light-skinned babies. That was their cheer. Back in 2019 or 2020, I believe. Yeah. They cheers to more light-skinned babies. And I'm going to say this, right or wrong. When we see the caption, throw like a girl, hit like a girl, we get excited, right? Yeah, girls can do things. If a man said, throw like a man, do this like a man, we would be like, are you kidding me? Because we know how society views women when it comes to men as less than, not as strong as, not as smart as, pay and equity. So when I hear her say she wants brown babies, right? Or she doesn't want to have light babies, because we know that society views light as right with that soft, pretty hair. You want your babies to be able to succeed in a world. So we want them to be lighter than a brown, not we, but you know what I mean? Lighter than a brown paper bag. We want them to maybe have light eyes and soft hair. We don't hear people equating dark skin and hair that may be a 4C with beauty. So for me, when I hear somebody say, I want little brown babies, or when I hear her say, I'm terrified of having a light-skinned baby, I didn't look at it as a negative, because for so long, the dark skin has been looked at wrong. I wish she would have explained it better than just saying that and just putting that out there. I do believe Candace does things now for sound bites because she is a smart person, so she knows what's going to get picked up. I do believe that. But I wasn't upset at what she said. Again, right or wrong, I'm not a light-skinned person, right? But just like men aren't women. So again, if a man said, throw like a man, I would be like, what you mean throw like a man? But if you say throw like a girl, I'm with it. Same thing. I'm not light-skinned, so I'm not starting from that starting line. I'm starting from a different starting line. So for me, hearing people say they want little brown babies with 4C hair or what have you is a beautiful thing. Again, I wish she had have went into, if she was going to talk about it, you need to get into it and not just throw out that soundbite when you're talking to a light-skinned woman. Because I would have wanted that conversation. Well, what do you think about what she said, Angela?
Right. I think that my knee-jerk reaction was like, okay, well, this is a little bit reverse colorism. It was. I watched it before coffee. That was my knee-jerk. And then I sat with it. I had my caffeine and I said, okay, let's turn our listening ears on. Let's turn our educated brain on. The issue, if you will, that I had with it was twofold. Number one, when you are on a platform, i.e., in front of any one of these microphones, you have to communicate like you were talking to a 5-year-old. And that's not to say that the listeners are stupid, unintelligent. That's to say you have to be as clear and concise
Yes.
as possible. Okay. You have to omit the feeling. You got to get to the point, is my point.
Yes.
And the example that I use is always Donald Trump, right? I mean, not Donald Trump, excuse me, Joe Biden. We knew what he meant when he said, if you have an issue trying to figure out whether to vote for me or Donald Trump, then you ain't really black.
Yes.
You understood it when you sat with it a little bit, but that
Yeah.
wasn't my job to sit with it as the audience. That was my job, was to listen to what you said and get a clear understanding of it. I shouldn't have had to apply nuance and maybe your thought pattern and what you meant. I shouldn't have had to do that.
Right.
Candace left room. So that was issue number one.
Yes.
Issue number two, and I started to touch on this at the end of my TikTok video about this, is I think the topic in and of itself is relatable. Some people are up in arms. I think it's relatable. I am not in a interracial relationship, so I don't know what those feelings are, but I could gather to imagine that there was somebody who heard that and was like, oh my God, I said the same thing.
I've seen a lot of comments to that, along with other ones, of course.
And then even just as a Black girl, right? My grandmother was born in 1931. So she was darker skinned. She was bullied for it. So she grew up kind of impressing upon us, make sure you marry a light man. And my grandfather,
stay out of the sun,
a light man. She wasn't so much a stay out the sun girl.
Okay, I know some of those.
Definitely, I do. But she was definitely a, get to a lighter man, get to a lighter man. So I cannot lie to you, right? That there was a point when I found out that I was pregnant that I questioned what my baby's skin tone was going to be, just based on my family, based on his family color, and not with life is going to be easier one way or another. I thought about it. To say that you didn't as a mother, I think is unrealistic. But to your point, the way that she said it was bad. And so I think there is a way to be relatable. And sometimes the stars miss that. Sometimes they think relatability is just saying whatever I want or getting on camera without washing my face, because those are the parts that they pick out, right? But that's not relatability. Relatability is being able to take your story and transform it past a little bit of, I'm talking to my homegirls, right? Expand a little bit more while still being clear and concise, and then giving it to the people in a package that they can digest.
Yes. I even think about how.
Thank you that's for my PR degree from YouTube.
I love I think about how Giselle season 1 said her kids, who are Candace's complexion, used to think she was white. So in reverse, I could see how Candace could feel like, I don't want to have to explain. I'm not the nanny. These are my children. But again, these are things that, like you said, it's not, I like how you said, it's not the audience's job to figure out the nuance. Give me the nuance when you're having the conversation.
Right. Because the root of that could possibly be, it would be easier to explain your Blackness to a kid who is seeing white daddy and goes to school with all of the pressures, right? It's easier to explain to that brown baby their Blackness than it is to possibly a lighter skinned baby that you now have to explain their Blackness to, while they're simultaneously possibly experiencing being too dark for the white kids, but still too light for the Black kids, and in that intersection. But we don't know, because that's not what she gave us.
Exactly. I think about Meghan Markle's mom. When after all that stuff happened, she came out and said she wished she had done a better job of preparing, like letting Meghan let her know you're black and the world sees you as black.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't because she felt like Meghan was going to be able to basically have the light skin privilege. She may have over here, but when she got across that pond, she did not. So even her mom said, basically, I wish I had the conversations and let her know, like Mariah Carey's mom had the conversation,
Yes.
like Halle Berry's mom had the conversation.
That was just
You are black.
Hello?
So Candace,
And
my dear.
half these people up in arms, though. Sorry to cut you off. Half these people up in arms, they grandmama did the ear check on them when they was in the hospital. So I just don't really want to hear too much of the click, clack, clacking of the Twitter thumbs.
And we need to understand when we use terminology. Like when they say black people, you're racist. Well, technically, due to the way racism is set up, we can be a lot of other things, Racism, not one. So when I saw she's a colorist. Well, if you know how colorism works, not technically. You can say she's a lot of other things, but that's not it. Also, there's a bigger conversation to be had about a black woman marrying a black man who is she's very obviously pro-black, right? She very much speaks up about things in the community and is not afraid to, and is having these feelings. Right. I have people in my family that are, because I've also seen the conversation, how can you be married to somebody white and still be so pro-black? You can be. That doesn't exclude her from being looked at as a black woman.
I feel like the pro-black conversation, and for me, comes down to spirituality, right? We all see every day people say that they Christian and then they do something that you wouldn't do as a Christian, right? So who's the Christian?
Right.
If you pro-black, if you doing things to help push the needle forward, be pro-black. I don't care who you married to. I don't care who you lay next to. As for me and mine, it couldn't be me. I love that for you, and I love that you found love. But the way my pro-blackness is set up, you feel what I'm saying? And that don't take nothing from yours. It just means.
But as for you in your house, yes, 100%. I'm glad you had the conversation about Candace, because I've been wanting to have since I seen it, because of the reaction. It's like I was on Reddit, and a person who was white.
You don't want to edit. Girl, Reddit is so complicated.
No, I was reading like the post, like you see the post and then you read the comments.
Yeah.
And a white person said, basically, how can Candace talk when she's not even dark skinned? And a black person had to come underneath her and say, as a black woman in our community, Candace is not considered light skinned. And I had to come in and say, exactly. So also to that end, sometimes white women who are not black, when this type of conversation comes up, I want y'all to ask questions and not just jump in like you know what you're talking about. And no disrespect, but I'm going to need you to back all the way up.
Just know
on this conversation.
The conversation, especially because the conversation of color is so nuanced within our community.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Me, I don't consider myself a high yellow girl.
Same.
I don't necessarily consider myself a red bone, okay? But I have been put in those categories. Red bone, I've accepted a little bit more being down south. I wouldn't red. Cool. But the other day, my aunt called me high yellow, and I said, who? I know I wouldn't have been I know I wouldn't have been outside. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely amongst the house of them.
Good night.
But also, I'm in the house doing laundry. I'm not in the house breastfeeding.
Got you, because there is a difference. Yeah.
But I'm perceived by some darker than me
as
one who would be. This is a crazy analogy, but the girls that get it. As one that would be the breastfeeder. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I don't look in the mirror
and see a breastfeeder. Yeah.
So it's like we can't even agree as a culture on the colors of what people
Come
are.
on.
We damn sure don't need nobody else who ain't in it
to jump over.
It. Yeah,
jump over.
Stay in your lane.
Stay all the way over there. And again, it may not be fair. Some things in life aren't fair, but again, dark skin has not been celebrated outside of our community
Mm-mm.
or in our community, right? So
Mhm.
go ahead, DK. I know. Hi, DK. But
Hi
yeah,
guys. Hi
so
Tammy. Hi DK. Hi Mary. Hello watchers.
pecan tan.
You know, we can't all agree. While we're still on the topic of Candace, let's swing into we got reunion looks.
Come on.
We
I
really
have to
get
say, mm,
we
mm.
gonna break them down. I
Blacks
want
weren't all black.
hello. I love it. As a unit,
Come on. I said,
this
come
was the
on.
best collective look that they have pulled together in 8 years. In a group picture, 8 it down. But
Oh,
we must wait, what you say?
I was gonna say, remember when Atlanta did all black? It was the same thing. Like they pulled that together
It just
as a collective.
gave.
Yeah.
We have to break it down though.
Oh,
So
Jesus. Okay.
I want to know who you put in the worst dress category and who you've got in the best dress.
Oh, okay. So, and by worst, I don't, in this case, worst doesn't mean bad. It just means out of these looks, what's the
Yes.
worst? Because normally my
Yes.
worst means bad. I wasn't necessarily, oh, this is hard because I wasn't necessarily featuring Mia's, even though I liked it. But to put it as worst, whew. Giselle, for what we normally get, looks nice, but out of all the looks, that would probably be, you know what? I'm sorry. I got to go back. Let me go back. Let me start over. I saw a picture of Robin yesterday and thought she looks good. And then she was sitting down, I don't like
The
it.
birthday picture?
Yes. No, in the black, in her reunion outfit, but she was sitting down, so you couldn't really see all of it.
Oh.
I don't like it on her. I just don't. So I will say for her, she's my worst. And again, not worst like bad, but worst like out of these ladies, she's the worst. I would then put Mia next. Like I said, I don't dislike, but out of these ladies, it was kind of like I was expecting a little more. Giselle, I'm going to do third worst, but she actually looked good considering what we normally get. Giselle never gives us fashions
Fabulous
anyway.
to Giselle's scale. But
Yes.
also it was very obvious that we were dressed off the mannequin. And I
All-
said that to
from
somebody
David's
yesterday.
Bridal
Hello, head to toe. It's like just because it's Versace
prom
doesn't
section.
mean. This person said 8th grade formal.
Yes. So yes. So that
DK said Giselle finally got this one right. She got it right for her, right?
yeah, that's what I feel like for her.
But she's also not a fashion girl. I agree with your category so far, so I have no need to interject.
Next, I will say I love Ashley's dress, but her wearing it makes it contempo casual, Forever 21, Joyce Leslie-ish, Deb Shop merry-go-round ish. But I did like the dress. She always gives me pageant.
Every time. Yeah.
Like, so just the way she moves.
That's where number one.
Yes. I loved Candace's dress, which is very similar to Ashley's, which I thought was interesting. Their dresses are
They're
very similar.
pageant girls, though. That's
Pageant
why I'm
girls.
always like, they could be something if they could get on the good foot. No, Nicki Minaj.
Get on the good foot. And then
Did that woman really cancel her show and then not tweet? This woman, Nicki Minaj, tweet about everything. She done canceled that show in New Orleans and ain't been on Twitter in 48 hours.
Yeah.
Now, somebody, shout out to you, Chad, babe. I can't remember your last name, but I know it first name was Chad, okay? His little TikTok ate him up, okay? But he is alleging that he thinks this is the beginning of the tour cancellation.
Oh.
Yes. So
which will be interesting because we
take that,
know
put it in your back pocket.
Ken Barbie didn't didn't Ken Barbie say that she was touring to pay debt? So okay.
It's also a blind item that has said that she was trying to like be clean for the tour. So right now the cancellation came from the lack there. Listen, I don't know. I'm just here to tell you what the people are saying.
What the
None of
people are
these are
saying.
my opinion. Candace, but yes, Candace and Ashley, same person.
And then between Wendy and Karen, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Karen as number one. I loved Wendy's look, very reminiscent of Candace in that red with those gloves.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I loved her look, but I wished maybe she had done different hair.
Agreed.
And I kind of wish, I feel like Karen, I wish she had done something different facially. I just don't know what, but she looks good. So I'm going to give her number one.
I don't know if it's the what she did facially or if it's the fact that you simply left Nneka out.
Oh, child, she was there.
Yes, girl, she was. But like, you know, fitting.
Sort of like the magazine person did. Sort of like Mia did this last episode. Okay. I'm sorry, Nneka.
I'm with you. I feel like I'm gonna go Robin. I'm gonna go Mia. I'm going to go Nneka.
Mm-hmm.
Then Gizelle.
Yes.
Then Karen for me.
Okay.
And it's really Karen gets the placement that she gets because it's old school glamour, but the facial situation is giving I want to keep up with these little girls. And that to me is the disconnect. So it doesn't give the vibe. I'm not feeling the old school glamour. I'm seeing it, but she hasn't made me feel it. And that's my disconnect with her. So Karen, and then I'm gonna go Wendy. And it's just your energy is making me not like the outfit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
it's
yes.
Like, and then Candace number one. I'm sorry, there's Ashley.
Oh yeah.
Ashley, Karen, Wendy, Candace.
Okay.
I would have liked to see Candace do something different with her hair. I would have liked to see an updo of some
with that
sort.
Dress, yes.
Right, because the dress still, she's playing, and she's been since last BravoCon when it was in New York. She's playing on that 90s Barbie doll.
Yes, yes.
So we did the chunky flip and all of that. So I would have liked to see a real like 2024 adaptation of like a 90s updo, if you will.
Yes.
To go with that look.
Yeah.
Make it come to life.
Give
us something different, Norm says.
Yeah. Give us yes. No, DK, I didn't even know she was there. I said, she was there.
Who? She said, my God. I wanted to talk to you about Mr. Carlos King and his foot in all of the Married to Medicine space. Are we into it? Would you like to see him possibly have Kingdom Reign take over for production? Okay.
Here's my thing. I'm noticing a pattern with Carlos and the people that he talks to, his talent included. Dr. Simone, when they first started out this interview today, Dr. Simone said, basically what started their kind of feud was she's looking at her phone in real life, basically what he's sending her. Then she's seeing what he's saying online, and it doesn't match. A lot of the people.
That was Quad. She was saying that about Quad.
Oh, okay. I thought she was saying that about him. But then she said she made, okay, I'm glad you said that. She made a reference to him that got me thinking between that, which I thought was about him, and something else. All of his people always say, you know, Carlos, the reality and real life. And I get that we have reality and we're making a show and then real life. But I noticed one thing about the people on all of his shows is, yeah, I think so too. One thing about the people with all of his shows is that they always talk about how the production is very much different than what's happening on TV. And I know we get that with Housewives, but I'm noticing with Carlos, it's becoming messier and messier and messier. And my issue with him is that he said, just like me and I'm paraphrasing, Me and Dr. Simone made up we're adults. So Sweet Tea, basically we can
Baby,
make up.
that what
Being
he
an
said.
adult.
Did you see how Sweet Tea? I know he said, you see what Simone and I just did? We had a real grown-up conversation.
I don't listen
implying that she was incapable of doing that.
When you get on the World Wide Web and say, I should take quad off my vision board and should have put eggs on my vision board, adult or not, there's nothing for us to talk about. And what's irritating to me is that he kept saying how he was triggered watching what happened at Napa Valley, but never once talked about how Heavenly gets on her YouTube and not just shades the ladies. She drags them so nastily from here, there, and everywhere. And then, and I'm telling you, I've said from the beginning, Dr. Heavenly is not trustworthy to me or a reliable narrator. If you notice, she takes things that are gossip.
That I went to the bathroom.
But the thing is, I wonder, are these things even being said or she's hearing them? She's never provided not one receipt. What she says is she'll throw something out there and then say, well, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. So she's taking gossip as fact. And the way that he would not hold Heavenly accountable because he's just as messy as she is. And I said, oh, he's having a good time being talent, which is fine, and producing.
Can't hold her accountable because he's justified her reasoning. And he said that in the show. He said,
that's very true.
When Toya said that all she ever wanted was equality, right? So in the interview, Carlos King asked Toya, have you ever tried to get anybody kicked off the show? And she said, I've never tried to get anybody kicked off the show, but I have asked for equality. If I am filming my real life and taking you in my business and doing that, I ask that the other cast members do that. Later on in the show, Carlos King said that Heavenly said out loud that she was not giving them her marriage, her real life, but she would come and basically be the villain, if you will. For Carlos, that was enough, whether that was right or wrong. And so that's why I believe that he's now incapable of holding her accountable, because in his brain, well, she's that character. She's fitting the bill.
Which is sad to me. Because again, one thing that I appreciate about Toya, and I know that people don't, dentist dementia, because you know what's interesting with Mia's lies, and not only that, Mia's lies may not destroy somebody's family, or may not
make you look crazy.
They're delusional.
Yes.
But then you got Dr. Heavenly. I mean, something just as simple as, I can confirm everybody has their contract back. We all saw the clip. And then she had to come down to YouTube a couple of days ago and say, I might have misspoke. No, you didn't know, but you just keep speaking. So for me, Carlos, it has gotten so murky. I stopped watching about a month or so back, their recaps. And really, Heavenly makes it hard for me to watch Married to Medicine. She really does.
And what they're doing online on the show, Heavenly on the show, and what Heavenly and Carlos King did online, to me, ruined the season.
Me too.
So even when he was sitting there and he was like, this is the best season yet, I said,
girl,
I can't agree. I can't agree. And I don't care what them ratings say. And also, let's not act like them ratings wasn't kicked up because of what y'all was doing, while you're sitting here also saying that the sisterhood and the way that y'all circle back also made me go look at my shows and say that we've got to change some things up. No, it didn't. What happened was, you read in these comments now that you're a content creator, and you know that we, the real people, are tired of fussing and fighting every single episode. We tired of only seeing them Black franchises get them paws put on them. Okay. And the only thing that happened in New Jersey is that y'all bring back Danielle to pull Margaret hair. We done clocked the tea. And that's what we tired of. And you know that. I want to circle back to what you said. How were you triggered by them girls kicking Quad off the trip, but you wasn't triggered by nothing Heavenly said about
nothing? To me, and what you're saying, there's no evidence to back it up. When he said Sweet Tea wanted to be Quad and had Quad on her vision board, if that was the case, we would have seen, yes, Come on, DK. Thank you from the beginning. And she championed her for over a year. Side note, Tammy, somebody said that they didn't like that Kandi would come down to YouTube and give her side, but yet they love Dr. Heavenly. So, and her YouTube, what's the difference? But anyway,
thank you.
To me, Sweet Tea hasn't given us evidence of wanting to be quiet. She hasn't changed her look. She hasn't changed her style. She hasn't done anything.
No, she hasn't.
Jonathan. She has
She
not.
even went as far as to put her damn knee on her picture and scrunch down. I mean, her hand on her knee and scrunch down in the reunion picture. That girl said, I am going to forever be who I am.
I am going to be who I am. And I am so disappointed. The shading, Black women, we all do that anyway in our conversation. You know what I mean? We do that. But the level that this has gone, if you notice, Sweet Tea said to Heavenly at the reunion, you took an oath and then you go online and you talk about my fertility. And Heavenly, instead of saying, you know what, I went too far, I should not have spoke on it. I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you want. And she starts
I'm like,
screaming.
girl, are you a 22-year-old? And that's my disconnect. I don't want to watch women who I know are actively hot flashing and not being ageist do things that I was doing in my 18, 19, 20s.
And if you are going to do it, though, it needs to make sense. All she did was call you out on what you were doing. What people
now, if somebody would have talked about that grandbaby that we know exists,
listen,
why else would that infamil be in that cabinet?
Come on,
then you would be ready to put the pause on the people, but you want to talk about her eggs.
Come on,
huh? See me, I wouldn't have held no water.
You want to talk about, we talk about soft girl life and Black women. Why is it an issue? If it's not an issue for Toya and Eugene, she drags Toya. I saw a clip the other week. Oh, Toya's lazy. She does this. She does that. Why are you so invested? Well, I feel like I know why you're so invested in Toya, because every chance you get, you got your mouth on her, because I think you want your mouth on her, because every chance you get, you say it. Why is it that Toya can't live a Black woman's soft life?
That's what I'm saying. She's jealous of the soft life. And I don't want to say that she's jealous of the marriage, because she could turn around and wake up tomorrow and Eugene and Damon Daddy do the Freaky Friday switch. And that might not be the type of man that she needs, right? But she's jealous of the way that Eugene allows her to be soft. She's jealous of the fact that Toya sat up there and said, yes, I've made more than him for the last 3-4 years. But guess what? If Toya stopped making that money, the house wouldn't fall. She just told y'all he paid the mortgage. You feel what I'm saying? She just told you that her money buy the little Chanel bags that she wants.
Take care of the kids' tuition.
All of that. It will all be okay. I don't think that's the same for Dr. Heavenly's household.
I do not either.
Dr. Heavenly is all my life I had to fight type of gal.
Listen.
I think that Dr. Damon Daddy, to the best of his ability, has and is capable of providing just a soft life for Heavenly as Toya has, because from what we know, that's a hardworking Black man, and we know that they make money, right? I think the dentist is the Medea play character. She won't let that man love her. She won't allow him to allow her life to be soft.
I just know this. That mumbling mouth man had a nerve to turn to Gregory and say it's either a yes or a no, whether I cheat or not. I dare you. In no way, shape, or form are you going to try to bully me into. I don't know what goes on in your house. At the end of the day, I don't know what goes on in your house. So listen, Mumbles. I wish Gregory had stuck to his guns. And Curtis, how dare you jump in? Thank you. Can I say also too another thing? Toya is authentically her in her marriage, whether people like Toya or not. She doesn't have to pretend that she's cooking a meal and hire somebody. What she has is her husband and her sons cooking for her as she walks through the house. They're serving her as she walks through the house. So they keep telling Toya, you need to change. I see people online saying Toya is going to leave Eugene. Eugene is very satisfied where he is. Me and my husband interviewed Toya and Eugene on my other podcast in 2016, and they were the Toya and Eugene that, like, nothing has changed. They were very vulnerable, very transparent, and you could tell that that man loves the ground that she walks on.
It
I believe that's a
seems
little bit
like
of,
it.
yeah,
It seems like it, and she said that too. She said when she met him, she knew that that
yeah.
was a man, and she was dealing with a man, and again, I just think Heavenly comes from a place where she doesn't see that. That's not the normal for her,
It
or
is
she
not.
hasn't committed to making sure that it is the normal for the generations that come from her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Again, we don't know what she does off camera, so I can only speak to what I've seen on camera. Also,
Can I just say, I'm real quick, the level though to me of toxicity, it's one thing if we saw her create chaos on the show. Okay. But we're watching her in real time leave YouTube because daddy, and I guess Bravo says she had to, because your
mhm,
YouTube was just that toxic. You're
just
not
that
just
time. We ain't
one thing
canceled
about
nobody else's
Giselle.
YouTube, nobody else's
I was
podcast.
just going to say one thing about Giselle. We don't see her, even though on her podcast, she has a lot to say at times, well, from what I remember from when I used to, but we don't see her creating it online.
Mhm,
Heavenly is
mhm.
consistently created. So I can only believe that you are that way in life. Or there's a part of you. So
Because
when I
how
hear
could you
women's
be so
empowerment, save it.
comfortable doing that? Like at some point you'd be like, "Oh, this isn't who I am." And I said this about Toya and Eugene for a very long time. She just told you that them kids' tuition is $60,000 in
Say it.
today's world, where everybody is a deep diver, everybody is an FBI investigator. You think if them people was broke, we wouldn't know about it? We
Thank you.
only hear that Toya and Eugene are broke when other cast members of Married to Medicine tell us that they are broke. We have never got an eviction notice.
Say it.
We ain't never had no lawsuit saying that they done ran out of house and didn't pay no rent. It was dirty. Nothing. They've been on that show 10 years. You don't hear nothing about Toya and Eugene outside of Married to Medicine season.
And
And what you keep hearing is the same. They're
yes,
broke.
they've
Eugene
moved.
is Eugina, and Toya don't really love him.
When we talked to them back then, they said the reason that they were so vulnerable with their money issues is because they wanted people to know that everybody goes through, and they were raised, and she said when you're raised and you don't have that kind of money, nobody teaches you
I've
how.
always
They've admitted
identified with that.
they have admitted, yes, they messed up with their taxes. So what Eugene said, I liked his interview with Cecil when he basically
Mhm.
broke it down and explained, I had this other job that was paying this, and then all of a sudden it was taken away, and now we're in this house, so we had to downsize. But since then, we haven't heard. I do not for one moment think they're broke. Those women get paid. Heavenly told that too. Over
They do.
$800,000 a season. Eugene, because Heavenly told this too, because remember, Eugene used to work in the emergency room
With
with
bonuses for acting a fool.
yes. And Eugene used to work with Dr. Damon in the emergency room. They get paid about 400 and some thousand. So those people are not broke. And I don't believe for a minute that they're not saving. Like you said, they keep piggybacking off the same thing. That woman is making $800,000 a season. It has been for the last few years. Come
And
on.
also, sometimes you know how the old people say you got to have a job to get a job?
Come on.
You got to have money to save money. Life is cheaper when you have money. It's just the facts. I'm not here to make the rules. When you have to go to inner city grocery stores that only exist in your neighborhood, you are now paying $6 for juice when
Yeah.
somebody else is paying $4 for juice. Okay. Going to Whole Foods is a choice, but that orange juice at Trader Joe's is definitely cheaper than the orange juice at City. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The wine depending on the wine, but the wine at the liquor stores that's on every corner is more expensive than you going someplace else. So I say that to say credit card perks, all of that. You have to have money, paid that stuff off, which it seems like they did, because if she's making 800,000 a season, and this is how my brain processes money. If she's making 800,000 a season and they had to pay that tax thing, she first time around, we just paying off debt. Paying
Mhm.
off debt. I'm not even trying to
Yes.
see the money. We paying off debt. So she said, I've been the breadwinner for the last 3 to 4 years. To me, that says in the last 3 to 4 years, they have gotten themselves completely in the black. Only debt that exists is the monthly. I've got to pay the mortgage. I've got to pay
Yep.
the car note. I've got to pay the kids' tuition. Those are reoccurring bills. I
Yep.
say that to say when you have just those reoccurring bills, again, the groceries are cheaper. You can afford to stock the house and then now only go grocery shopping to say, oh, we're running low on this. Oh, let me
Right.
restock this. So again, and she don't seem like the type of person, she making sure that them kids still stay in reality.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not giving upper echelon of everything all the time.
Which is why I had to tap on her a little bit and say, Toya, just give the people the $1,000 for the
No,
donation.
no, no. I sooner take my $1,000 and go to my husband's hospital and write a check to the board there, but I'm not giving it to nothing Heavenly got going on.
Okay, so you
The
think that
most you could get is that wine up
that's
out
what
of
it
me.
was. Okay, okay,
Absolutely.
gotcha. And people didn't understand about the wine. I got what she was saying. If she's only allotted, she has to sell the wine for them, which means she has to have parties and she has to take that wine to the parties. If she's only allotted 10 cases a year for free,
Mhm.
once she uses up those 10 cases, she then has to purchase the wine that she has to take to parties. I got
Yes.
what she was saying. She used all her allotment on this hit, which it would worked out good for her because I'm sure people were getting her wine. But people were like, I don't get it. It's very simple. She
Also,
uses
some
her allotment.
people, and I want to say this too. Everybody is all over the place with Toya. Some people were like, Kendall Jackson ain't even that good of a wine. Who is she
Right, girl.
selling it to? Who is she selling it to? She's not selling it to other women who make $800,000 a year. She
Right.
went and she found herself something that is relatable and tastes good. Is Kendall Jackson the best wine out there? No. Does it make a good sangria? Is it good to watch the Housewives too? Absolutely. So she gave you something relatable and then she gave you something that has marketability long term. That girl
Yes.
can now go do live shows and
Yes.
invite people out to talks with Toya. Toya, if you use that bitch, yeah, I want my money. I'm coming for you like Uncle Sam and them. Um,
Exactly.
but there's so much marketing opportunity
Yeah.
in what she's doing and also it being relatable. And these fans, these Bravo fans who have spent money on every housewife got something, every season they selling us something, and there's people out there who are buying it. And I think to lead with that in your brain, not to devalue yourself, but to lead with all of us in this Bravo space is selling something. Kendall Jackson is a smart choice. Is a
Yeah.
smart choice.
Because
I
she's
had
not
them
coming
people
out of
outside
pocket.
selling it like Avon.
She's not coming out of pocket starting a lineup. She's literally coming up off their money.
She didn't even go through the route of slapping a sticker on there that had her
Come
name
on,
on it while telling you she went to France and studied for a very long time.
Karen. Remember that wine that they were supposed
Lisa
to be?
Rinna.
Girl.
Yeah.
I just think yeah, they want to paint a certain narrative of Toya. But I did appreciate her saying in the interview that she doesn't like the image that's been cultivated about her, but she did it. And so now
I
she has to work
loved
to change it.
that.
I like that she owned that.
But you know what? I also feel I love that she owned that. But I also feel like again, it was other people projecting their misery.
Yeah.
If I'm filming this show with you in my off time and in these concentrated months of my life, yeah, when I'm with you, I'm here to turn up. Let's go shopping. Why
Yeah,
did you
you
come here? Why aren't you not cute? We
doctors'
only
wives.
filming for
Hello.
we only filming for 4 months. What you got on Champion for? That's no shade to Audra. Girl, you know I love you, boo. But I told you to your face that I understood what Toya was saying.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. If the
but if
cameras are on, I'm putting it on. I'm putting it on when and
thank
I'm
you.
not with cameras. So when I
And
go
I'm that
somewhere,
type of friend too. If we hanging out and it's supposed to be a vibe, and then you come in there not on a vibe, no, bitch. Why you look like
like, where are
that?
you going?
You ain't see the memo, friend? You just said fuck the memo, huh? That's what I probably would have said. You know, something like that. But also to Toya's point, her audience, her demographic is East Coast women. I've been about
Girl,
Toya since day one.
me too. And I have not changed. Same. I was waiting for her to throw Jersey in there, even though,
I was like, hello.
say that. Yes.
I'm gonna close off on these two topics. You tell me which you want to go first. You want to talk a little royal family, or you want to talk about the Nene Portia feud?
We could talk about royal family and save Nene and Portia as dessert.
Hear ye, hear ye. I have, over the last week, since the last time I saw you, become the royal commentator to the girls who ain't cared about the royal family since the Declaration of Independence. You feel what I'm saying? I break royal drama down for the people who don't care, but like the tea. Okay.
Okay.
So Kate Middleton, if you're not caught up, we haven't seen her physically that we can confirm that it's her since December 25th. On March 10th, we got a edited photo. On March 11th, we got another edited photo. And then yesterday they said, fine, here's a video. And now we think that that's edited. I'm going to be honest. I haven't gotten into the breakdown of the video of yesterday's video, right? But I did find it interesting, and I shared this in my TikToks. Early morning yesterday, Page 6 told us Kate and William went to the farm, but there were no photos. By 4 o'clock,
sure did.
It's a video, and the video was coming from The Sun. The original source is The Sun.
Yeah.
Stop playing with me. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
So I remember reading.
Kate is. Do you think it's payback?
I remember reading that Page 6 article saying that there were no photos, because I remember scrolling down. When I first started reading the article, I skipped the words and scrolled down to find a picture, and then scrolled back up.
Like a 2-year-old in a picture book.
Yes. And read it and was like, oh, there's no pictures. Then I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, though, after we got the video. And I was like, is that her? It looks, at first, that grainy photo we got, I was like,
go to hell. He was like, what's that?
Come on.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Here's my thing. I've seen people say, come on, guys. They've already said she would not be coming out until after Easter. Then why are you putting all these things out? Every time someone mentions Kate, then I would say, as we've said previously, the princess will not be out until after Easter. So why are you continuing to ask about her? So I haven't got into the specifics of why people are saying the video is fake either, because that picture, I was like, please. But then looking at the video, I'm like, oh, maybe that is her, but I'm not sure.
Somebody did a side-by-side of a photo of Kate and William walking prior to all of this. And they literally just drew a line from Kate's shoulder to where her shoulder lined up on William's body.
Okay.
And then did the same on yesterday's photo, and there was a significant height discrepancy, meaning that Kate either shrunk or got taller. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
I do think, and guys, I'm working on a date, but I am going to have Kyle Marie Roth, the TikToker, on, and we are going to break down all of the royal news that is out at the time that we do that. But I think the piece that's also being left out of this conversation while we're all having fun with the theories is this is a royal family. There's a political image to it, right? So if something is very much afoot with the king and or possibly with Kate, we just can't come out and say that. You know what I mean? We just can't be like, all right, well, listen, the man, he got the cancer. It's not looking good. She over here. We just can't come out and say that. I saw a tweet that said, like, if this was 1773, France would be trying to invade right now. And I think that is something. But to your point, then don't say nothing.
Don't just continue
don't
to
give
say
us nothing.
Repeat what you've been saying. Come on, PR people, repeat what you've been saying. Listen,
Kate trying to see if she could go to Tyler Perry house too.
Because listen. And then people are saying they want Meghan to speak out. For what? Y'all didn't like her speaking before. Now all of a sudden. And if they're doing all this to cover up something, like the behavior patterns Sort of like when they denied everything that was going on with Kate
And
with the way Kate
Harry
and William were treating
Cohen.
Meghan and Harry.
I had
I
to get my
think,
wife out so she didn't suffer the same fate as my mom. That's what that man
listen,
Harry said.
listen, I think something is going on. I just don't know what, whether it's medical or whether it's they're having an argument or whether they're trying to play a game to distract us from asking about Charles.
We will stay on top of it. I want to close. I know I said Nene, but I do want to close with this really quickly. Amanda Seales feels
Child,
like
I
she has
started.
been news I don't care about. She feels like she's been blackballed from the Black community. I would like to point your remembrance to the Issa Rae. I believe that was the Emmy party, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Um, and I said this, and this is the best way I can sum it up. Cat Williams said on his Shannon Sharpe interview, I can't get jealous about anything that side doesn't give me because I've never seen anything on that side that I want. Cat is 10 toes in his real nigga stance. And because I'm that, I know I'm not going to get certain things. Right.
Period.
Amanda, from my point of view, walks the real nigga talk. She walks the real walk. She talks the real, but she still want that praise and that acceptance and that accolade that comes from the other side, that comes with something, you know what I mean? Unless you're that breakout star, unless you're that Issa Rae, unless you're that even Drake, right? Hello, Degrassi. And so I feel like her lack of acceptance is she's in a bed of her own making, but she shouldn't want to be inside of that bed, inside of that house. So that's why I'm like, who are you? Which Amanda are you? Are you smart, funny, and black? Are you Amanda Seales who wants that recognition from them?
I started to do a video about that yesterday because when I saw that, I just was kind of like, and there's a way if you feel like something needs to be said again to say it. Because you came at it like y'all don't, and they ain't never invited me. And even when I hosted that, instead of being like, man, y'all know I love this community. I would really like to be, she could have even made it funny, but got her point across. Again, though, like I say, you can say whatever you want to say. You have a right to say it, but know how you can't tell people how to receive what you're going to say. And when she said that, I came off, it kind of reminded me of a Candace Owens. Why won't the Black people give me my flowers? Even though Candace speaks about something totally different, it was still giving me that same energy. Like, why don't y'all? Why don't y'all? Girl, it is because of the
same little broken girl that the NAACP had to rescue.
Listen, it's because of us that you are where you like. I mean, come on. It very much turned me off to the point where I didn't even do the video.
But I also feel like there is a certain level of ism that comes with those accolades, right?
Yes.
Angel in 1 year gave us one margarita. She's on the Here's the Thing podcast. Her and the husband got the Bald and Beautiful. She got the podcast with Kevin, his wife. They do the challenges every day. Amanda, and on Instagram, right? Amanda is sending people to her Patreon. You got to download Smart, Funny, and Black. And that is very smart, right? Keep your coins. That takes you out of a certain market.
Yes, it does.
And
it definitely
you did
does.
that. You could have put all of that Smart, Funny, and Black content on Instagram and waited for the NAACP to acknowledge you, waited for HBO to pick you up because you do have a relationship with these production companies, but you chose to start your own, which is beautiful. We applaud that.
But with that comes sacrifice.
But with that comes sacrifice. With that comes, oh, I'm going to get an award at a award show that it doesn't exist just yet.
Right.
And also, you can't also yell at us, teach us words, tell us that we stupid all the time, and then expect us to praise you. Like,
girl,
Portia and Nene and Simon and that man that Nene had said was bipolar, but now she back with him, or narcissist. That's what she said he was.
Yeah.
Now she back with him.
Yeah.
I also put that under the banner of news I don't care about.
Girl, listen. This is what I say. I see people saying Nene's karma because she has sat on different platforms. Well, she sat on Watch What Happens Live and said who shouldn't come back, what they weren't bringing. I'm going to say this for me, and not justifying what she said, because I was like, that's kind of foul. She was asked the question, as most housewives are, who from your cast do you think blasey, 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 blasey? There's a lot
That's
of
like Robin getting mad at you because you said she was the worst dressed. I answered the question.
right. And there's a lot
But
of
also
housewives
your outfit wasn't
that
cute.
won't answer, that will say, we're on an ensemble. You can't take any of us out. Then there are some that say so-and-so is not bringing anything. I'm going to say this. I've seen people say Porsha tried to stop NeNe's bag. Here is my thing. When people say, well, she didn't have to, that's true. She didn't have to answer. But what I'm going to say with regard to the Porsha and NeNe thing is this. Whether if you and I have been hanging out, we may not be the best of friends, but we have taken we've taken trips as couples to see Usher. I've broken bread with you and your husband at your house. We doing hookah. We went to Dubai separately, but we met up and hung out. We've been seeing them out socially together. If you didn't want to do this role, there was no need for you to put my name in it. And that's what I'm saying, because we don't have an issue. If we did have an issue and you chose to talk to a production company and say, I can't work with her, that's one thing. You could have simply declined the invitation. Even if NBC Bravo said, and NBC Universal said, hey, we see that you're about to do something with NeNe. We don't like it. There's still a way for you to decline without mentioning my name. My issue with Porsha in this is, why did you mention NeNe's name? You obviously didn't have a problem because you've been hanging out with her. That was my issue.
So my thing is, and DK, I don't know who you saw. I saw Candace on Angela Yee say that, maybe they could be friends, but they can't work together. And to a certain degree in this particular situation, I don't fully agree with that.
Because of the wording. She didn't say that. She didn't say, I'd rather not mix with friends. She said, due to our past issues. Which alludes to me, if I heard that as a production company, then they.
Yeah, now you're thinking that I'm going to be a problem even if she's not there. Like,
and it could have went the other way. They could have not given it to NeNe, and that's the risk you take when you do that. Sorry,
absolutely. I also no, you're fine. I feel like I would have, if I'm Porsha in my brain, and like you said, we've done broke bread and all of that together. So to me, the issues business or not, the issues in the past are irrelevant. If we ain't hanging out in Dubai together, we ain't got no issues. You feel what I'm saying?
Thank
What
you
talking about? What are you talking about? We done put the ice in the pool and swam. We friends now. But in my brain, because we know Porsha is about a good little contract. If I were Porsha the girl Williams, I don't necessarily know if I would sign on to do any working project with somebody who's not in good graces of the housewife. Hear me out. My brain is thinking, because Candace says she was offered the role as well. Let's just say Porsha and Candace do it. Yeah. My brain is now thinking crossover opportunity. Yes. Another Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Something we can take this and parlay it into something else. There's no parlay opportunity as for Porsha as a housewife again. Now, if Porsha had not been a housewife or had not been coming back when this was offered to her, I would say I don't understand why you wouldn't do that with NeNe.
Yes.
But now being back in that Bravo space, and remember, Porsha's contract also came with non-scripted deals.
Yes.
There's no parlay opportunity. There's one with Kenya. There's one with Candace. It was one other person she said they reached out to.
Oh yeah. I can't even remember. There was another one. Yeah.
But they're just, if I'm thinking in terms of a contract, if I'm thinking of, is there something beyond just this check?
Yeah.
There's not that. Tell us where we can find you, what you got going on, what the things is, chat. The chit chatters, they got jobs and they a little old, baby. We got to go to bed.
Listen, I said I got to eat my little Subway 6-inch and drink my little margarita and go be out. First of all, I want to thank.
I got some steak hibachi
waiting
on me.
It's right there. I want to thank y'all for having me. Thank you so
Yes.
much to everybody who's watching. I appreciate y'all so much. You can find me on Instagram at WeGo, WEIGO podcast, Twitter, same name, WEIGO podcast. I'm also on YouTube, WEIGO podcast. And
Podcast.
you can find the podcast, which Elle was just on. It was released today.
Yes.
Wherever it is you listen to all of your podcasts, what else is going on? Also, I wanted to let you know, and I could send you the video so you can talk about it, but the text messages between Portia and Nene with all this have been released. A YouTuber had them, and I watched her video. They showed them, so I'll send it to you.
Please, because I need to bump my gums about it. Guys, thank you. Oh no, you got to play the game.
Oh
You
yeah,
gotta play
okay.
you gotta play Make It Rain before
Okay.
you leave. So Make It Rain, last season we had our fishbowl game. Make It Rain is our new game of the season. It is a rapid fire game. Don't think about the questions, just the first one that comes to
Okay.
mind. First one, what never fails to make you cry?
Thinking about my kids when they leave home on any break and go back to college.
What's a food or snack that everyone loves but you think is overrated?
I don't like any seafood at all. Crabs, shrimp, none of it. I don't like it. I don't like the texture. I can't stand it. And watermelon.
Girl, I almost hung up on you, but you caught me back when you said watermelon because, I don't like it. What's one thing people would be surprised to learn about you?
I get nervous very easily and very often at times. Not at times, often.
Have you ever joined the Mile High Club?
No.
Neither have I. First of all, I don't even want to be in a public bathroom, much less.
That would have had to have been in my 20s because now I'm like, I'm willing to do it publicly, but not unless it was a private plane, child.
I'm willing to do it publicly. Takes me back to the pick up the apple with your foot. If you could do the brown chicken, brown cow with one celebrity, who would it be?
If I could do the who?
Brown chicken, brown cow with one celebrity.
What is
who
that?
Would it be? Sexual intercourse.
Oh, Melissa Gorga from Real Housewives of New Jersey or Jordan from Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Next question.
I'm not mad at either one.
Because I don't want none of them in. So they're handsome, don't get me wrong, but nah.
Top or bottom?
Who, me?
How the criteria is whatever.
Depends on the day. Some days I'm a starfish. Some days I save a horse and ride a cowboy.
I don't know why I talk to you.
You said be honest, don't
but
think.
Some days that starfish spirit do be on me, amen.
I can't listen. I can try to give you a little thrust from the bottom, but I'm tired.
But I ain't got much.
I don't have much. And then some days I'm saving a horse and taking the cowboy down.
Listen,
come on, this ain't Texas.
I am Sutton. I'm finna go buy the horse. Okay.
Listen.
Guys, that has been Stripped. Please make sure you follow Taria at WeGo Podcast wherever you are on social media because the name is the same. It is free $99 to be a good person. So get out there and do that shit.